for all. School buses and clean schools are not a waste, fraud, or abuse. They are not the reason our state is in a financial mess. They are the most essential and most basic services we all expect from our government. But Sacramento would rather spend money on tax giveaways for corporations than school buses for children. I am a food service worker, and I am proud to serve breakfast and lunch to hungry children at my school. But as a taxpayer, I don't like serving free lunches to millionaires.
Our next speaker is Mr. Doug Moore.
Good afternoon. I'm one of two that are up here who are not teachers. My name is Doug Moore. I'm the Executive Director of the United Domestic Workers. You're probably thinking, well, what is that? How many of you know of someone who takes care of an elderly or disabled person in their home so they don't end up in nursing homes? That's what our members do. We have 65,000 in our union. There's over 440,000 in-home support workers in California. The governor has proposed to cut this program by 87%, eliminating over 300,000 elderly and disabled off of the program and putting them in the nursing homes. The problem with that is there's only about 25,000 nursing homes. So where are they going to go? So we have a socioeconomic problem that not only impacts teachers, students, but also public services. So what we need is a fair tax system. And right now, the legislature is doing business as usual. The governor, if you want to call him that, is doing business as usual. And you know, there's no difference than what's happening with teachers, with students, with home care providers, with the middle class. We're all under attack. And if we don't fight together, we will lose together. Irregardless of what your political background is, your religious background, your race, creed, or color. If we don't go to Sacramento united as one, they will pick us off individually. So I urge you to join the core walkers behind me, California Federation of Teachers, the United Domestic Workers of America, and keeping this movement going beyond April 21st. Beyond April 21st. And let them know that we're not just putting on a show, we're for real. Yeah. We are for real. So I urge you, I'm not going to urge you to miss school. I guess I could because I'm not a teacher. But if you can't be there, have someone on your behalf be in Sacramento on April 21st and work with us beyond April 21st to create the movement of people of all races, of all backgrounds to take our California state back. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Miller, and I'm with the California Federation of Teachers. I teach at San Diego City College, and it's my pleasure to have walked over 300 miles to speak to you here today in Galt. I'm marching because I want my son not to go to an overcrowded elementary school. He's in kindergarten at McKinley Elementary in San Diego. I'm marching because I want to be able to afford to put him through college without shredding my retirement savings. And I'm marching for my nieces at UCLA. They just had a 30% tuition increase over the last year. There went my 58-year-old brother's retirement, just like that. And I know there are hundreds of thousands of people all over the state of California going through exactly the same thing right now. And as everybody knows who reads the paper, California has really become the laughingstock of the nation with regard to our budget. And everybody also knows that education used to be the pride of the Golden State. We used to be the best state in the entire United States in terms of higher education, in terms of K-12 education, and now we've become a laughingstock. But there's a reason why that's happened. You go back to 1978 when we required a 2/3 majority to raise revenue or pass a budget in this state. If you want to know why there's gridlock year after year after year in California, it's because we have a 2/3 majority requirement to pass a budget or to raise revenue in the state, and that needs to end now. Just to give you a couple examples of ways in which a fair tax system could help fund education. If we simply returned the top 1%, people who make over $250,000 a year. Anybody here make over $250,000 a year? Okay, you're off the hook. You're safe. Right? But if we did that, back what we did during Pete Wilson's governorship, a Republican, back in the early 90s, we could solve a quarter of the budget deficit problem today. It would bring in $5 billion annually. A couple other things. California there are 21 states that take oil out of the ground. California is the only state in the United States that doesn't have an oil severance tax. Sarah Palin's Alaska has one. George Bush's Texas has one. We need something like that here in California to fund education and vital public services. And a final example of a progressive tax. Everybody knows that Prop 13 has protected your grandmother's house, and most people think that that's a good thing. But very few people know that Disneyland gets the same Prop 13 tax break as your grandmother. So it's time that we impose a split roll tax on Prop 13, reassess commercial property while leaving individual homeowners alone, and that will bring in millions of dollars more in revenue for the state. And finally, we need to start closing corporate loopholes instead of schools. You know, and the fundamental thing here is this isn't something that happened like the rain. It's not like nature. This is a fundamental political choice in California. We've decided to ask the top 1% and the most powerful corporations in the richest state, in the richest country, in the entire world, not to sacrifice a penny at a time. We're giving teachers pink slips, shutting down schools, throwing old folks out of their home care, shutting down state parks, and that needs to stop now. So what we need to do in the political front is help pass the Majority Budget Act to help end some of the gridlock in Sacramento. And I hope to see all you guys out on the 21st, next week on Wednesday at the state capitol. Let's make some noise there.
Thank you, Jim. For our last act, we would like to read to you the California's Bill of Rights as we've produced them. And I would like the students to come up and do that one at a time. So if we can have some volunteers, come on up, one at a time. Here's, oh, that's right. Oh, you have one? Well, we can have 4 markers. That's good. Okay, come on up, come on up. You're going to read just this first one right here. Okay, I guess Amendment 1.
We, the people of the state of California, declare that all men and women are created equal and endowed with certain unalienable rights. Among these,
the right to a fair system of taxation that does not subsidize the wealthy and powerful at the expense of the poor, working class, and middle class.
The right to free, quality public education from early childhood all the way to 12th grade.
The right to affordable higher education that does not leave students indebted for years.
The right to quality public services that unite communities and enhance quality life. Clean parks, good libraries, well-maintained infrastructure, and public safety.
The right to quality health care at an affordable price so that no family goes bankrupt because their child becomes ill.
Right to basic human dignity so that the elderly and disabled receive care in their own homes and are not forced into institutions.
The right to a government and economy that work for all Californians.
The right to a better future for all Californians.
So I would now like to invite everyone to join us in signing the California's Bill of Rights. We've got it right up here. Don't crowd. Well, there'll be plenty of pens. So come on up and sign for the California's Bill of Rights. Let's endorse this. Let's show Sacramento that this is what we're talking about.